Welcome to Club Domingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Woo! Recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
Oh,
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good.
We've been
I'm
talking
actually
for
really
an-
tired.
we've been talking for half an hour already, and I'm tired.
Did you notice? Like, I'm really tired. I didn't sleep well last night, and
Oh, that's no good.
so I don't know. I need to get through the next thing on
Which
my
is
plate, and then
which is this show. Which
say
is
again.
yeah.
Get through this show.
Yeah.
I
Just
got
remember to be up for the kiddies. You've got to be up all the time. You know, you can't be down. You've got to be up.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're recording this on the actual day of release. We sort of let it all slide. So this is a Thursday morning show.
Are we telling the kiddies why we let it slide, or we're keeping that under wraps?
You can tell them why do we let it slide?
Because it was your birthday on Monday, dickhead.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it was, yeah, birthday. That's right, because you work the Tuesday now. Your day
I'm back to
around.
Tuesdays.
It normally should be Monday now, and we didn't because it was my birthday, and I was going to be a slack bludger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Which is the right thing to do. Yeah.
Which is the right thing to do. So it's birthday season.
Yes, indeed.
So I thought we'd kick off the show today by not only saying happy birthday, Gary.
Happy birthday, Gary.
Yes. But of course, every year around the same time, on exactly the same day before my birthday, is Tad's birthday as well.
Ah, Tad, Dark Nebula Petrovsky.
Petrus. Oh, I'll have to edit that out.
Did I get it right?
Petrukowski.
Petrakowski? There we go.
Petrukowski, yeah. Anyway,
Fantastic.
he lives his
Tad.
life.
His name's Tad.
His name's Tad. Yeah.
Thank God for that.
I've known Tad for donkey's years, for absolute donkey's years. And so every day before my birthday, I know it's birthday season. I'll never forget my birthday because it's Tad's birthday first.
Right, there you go. Happy birthday, Tad.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is. I think he's about 110.
I was going to say, yeah, about 110.
And he's just a couple of years older than me, I think. And I'm 108. So
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah,
wow.
Tad, I've known Tad a long time. He introduced me to Glenn, and we started the Cyclone thing together back in the day. So I think I've known him since about 1982 or so. And yeah, he's lived a life, and he's still chugging along, and he's still doing Dark Nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd have to look hard to find someone more. Oh man, I'm looking at someone, I suppose, but more dedicated to their IP or to their characters.
Yeah, true.
Than Tad is to get Dark Nebula out there. And I asked him the other day how it's going. You know what's up for Dark Nebula, and he's still got all these huge plans, which are great, which will start to happen. And he's always pushing because he's not a professional artist. He's got other people doing stories for him, so he's in a coordinator, editor. Writer mode as well. So and he's always pushing. He's got some pretty exciting things ahead if they all come to fruition. So
cool.
So that's the 29th of March. So happy birthday, Tad. And then I share my birthday with Lauren Marshall or Lauren Armstrong because that's her name.
Oh yeah.
So and she's the host of Sketch Biz, another YouTube interview show with creatives.
Yeah.
So that's worthwhile tracking down. So happy birthday to Lauren as well. And I hear that she's starting to show pages from her graphic novel that she's working on, which, let me get the name right, she's working on Thalasson, Thalasson. She's starting to preview pages from that. So
so that's one that she's writing herself because she's done other work for other people, and she had an IP in conjunction with someone else for a while. I think did 2 issues of that come out?
What was that called? Do you remember?
Oh. It's the character with the bunny ears.
Lana Luca.
Lana Luca, that's it. Yeah.
See, what stays in my head? Important information, Lauren. Important information.
Right. Yeah. None of it stays in my head anymore. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry.
But Lauren's also done a stack of Phantom covers. She's done an issue or 2 of Maurice in the Metal with Aaron Samek. Yeah. What else can I? But anyway, the Thalasson work is the main project that she's working on at the moment, and I'm sure she's
writing and drawing.
Yeah. So I wish her all the luck in the world of seeing that through to its logical conclusion. That looks very exciting.
And that looks like it's going to be in full color and everything. The
Yeah,
pages look
yeah, yeah,
incredible.
yeah. They
Yeah.
do. Yeah, indeed. So if you're interested in seeing what she's up to and hearing nice creative conversations with other artists, look up Sketchbiz on YouTube and give it a follow.
Yeah. I think on like Instagram and whatnot, she's might be under the martial arts still.
Right, yeah, that could be the case. Yeah, I just did a quick search around today, and she's half Lauren Marshall, half Lauren Armstrong, and it's just a married name crossover, I think. So I don't
Yeah.
know whether she's transitioning or what, but
Yeah.
anyway, one name or the other will get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So one of the things that I've kind of thought about recently, looking at Lauren's incredible artwork for the graphic novel that she's working on. What was it called again? The
Allison. I don't know whether that's the right pronunciation, but Thal Thalasson, Asson, Thalasson.
Allison. So is that, and I could be wrong, but it looks to me like Lauren is doing a whole page from Go to Woe finished, and then moving on to the next page, Go to Woe and finished.
It seems
Uh,
that way.
yeah, so doing the layouts and then doing the penciling and then inking it and then the lettering and the digital coloring and then doing all of that stuff before she moves on to the next page. Is that how you work as well? Like, do you work like a
No,
complete page, or
no,
do you
no.
like ink? Do you like pencil an entire issue and then go back to the beginning and ink the entire issue?
I think in hindsight, I'm incredibly messy and random with my stuff. But with Lauren's, just before we drift off and pick on my work process,
Yeah,
releasing pages the way she is doing now assumes that she has done all of her layouts and story progression and beats and pacing ahead of time, and she's now just going back and working on each page
right.
to release them and preview and generate.
That's what you're.
Stuff like
That's
that.
what you're assuming.
That's what I'm assuming.
That's a big assumption, Gary Chaloner.
Well, how far do you work ahead before you start creating problems for
I
yourself?
don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
That I'm being facetious, but yeah, but Lauren's pretty well organized. I would assume as well that she's written everything and now is making the art.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I get that.
Well,
Yeah.
if Lauren's listening to this, we
Hi,
have a
Lauren.
hi, Lauren. Happy birthday. Yeah, drop us a quick line on clubdamingo at cyclonecomics.com.au and let us know how you work, and we'll let people know. But I assume
Email address again?
Club Domingo with an A, Damingo, clubdamingo at cyclonecomics.com.au.
Very good.
That's
You
my
got it. You read it. You got it
that's
up there.
that's my one
somewhere.
300 voice. Like hello. That's my male gigolo voice.
That's right. Oh my God, you might have to work on that a little bit.
1-300 Club Domingo, hello, where your wildest fantasies come true with a metal
Um,
arm.
all right. So that's great.
Oh, so
That's better. So yeah, you're because I'm thinking about it at the moment. It's been a very long time since I've done an entire like 20 plus page issue of a comic. Most of what I've done has either been as a jam session or a short story over the last, I don't know, 10 or even 20 years. So casting ahead like 4 months or so when I start working on issue 9, which I don't know how many pages it's going to be now, but I'm assuming it'll be anywhere between 18 and 36. And I'm thinking, am I going to do what I did used to do in the past, which was pencil from page 1 all the way through to the last page, and then go back to page 1 and letter the whole thing, and then go back to page 1 and ink the whole thing, or will I do it on a page by page basis? Uh, one of the things I started to do when I was looking at the 2020s Greener Pastures material, where Trevor is now middle aged rather than the 1990s material where he's still a young man, was I was doing that scene by scene. So I would thumbnail out a number of scenes, and then I would go to the first scene. And if it's a page, then I just do the page. And if it's
yep.
4 pages, then I would do the 4 pages, pencils all the way through, letters all the way through, then inks all the way through before moving on to the next scene. But now that I've got like a different unit, again, back to a discrete issue, should I do the whole 20 pages in big chunks, or should I do them a page at a time?
Yeah.
What's your method?
Very similar. I think I break an issue down in a general sense. I bite off what I want said in the story, talking about ongoing issues, multiple issues.
Yeah,
So
right.
working with and it's an estimate in my head of the story that you want to impart and where it should end. And then you just work backwards from there. And it can be 18 pages, it can be 22. I mean, I can fill and spread the action out, or I can shrink if need be. But I basically take scene by scene like you do, knowing that the issue is roughly planned out, that, oh yeah, everything I want to say is going to fit within 22 pages or 24 pages. Then you just keep on working, and it gets massaged as the issue goes along, and the beats get worked out. Like, you've established the beats, storytelling beats, shock horror, or like a cliffhanger or anything like that. And you just massage it as you go, where now I'm at that scene, wouldn't it be great to have this kind of layout instead of this kind of layout? And you just massage it into place, and away you go.
I definitely don't do that. If I'm, because you're still talking about it's not really a discrete issue. You're just taking a long story and breaking it into issue-sized chunks, right?
When I'm talking about things like the original Jackaroo story,
right,
that I'm remastering at the moment, that was very much the case of
okay.
Like, this is what I want to say this issue. This is the death of this character issue, and I know that it's got to build up with a couple of scenes. It's got to end with the death, and then this is how I want it to end. And it's just it's a case of massaging all the time.
So again, I look at some other long form comics that were created as 20-page chunks on a monthly basis, and my go-to, as always, is Cerebus. And it was really interesting, the changeover that Sim eventually did, where for decades, I don't know, not decades, for lots of issues, right? For, I don't know, 100, 115, maybe up to the 200 mark, I don't know. He would definitely have like an issue by issue thing, where every issue had a title, and it was like, this was the issue chunk. And then when you read through the trade paperback collections, you can pretty much see where each 20-page chunk ends and starts and finishes. But then there was definitely like a transition period where it wasn't really ending on a cliffhanger as such. Some would, but not necessarily, and it would just flow into the next issue.
Right.
But then there was definitely a point. Was that with Jacka's story? So that's a reasonable. It might have been once he did the Jacka's story novel. There's no. It would just end on the 20th page, and and next month would be maybe halfway through that scene would pick up where
it's just a section of a longer
process. Which I don't know works terribly well for a monthly readership. It reprints much better, I think, because you are absolutely just giving it the space that you think it requires.
Well, that's a consideration as well, because in the early days of the Jackaroo stories, there was always a title page with a chapter title and a next issue kind of thing. And in my remastering of these things, I'm removing those so that it is more, you still got the content of the issue that makes sense. But when it's collected in a trade paperback, it's a smooth transition from the end of an issue is really just the end of a scene. And it flows evenly for the trade. So I am doing this for the trade, but I'm also keeping it with the structure of a single issue as we go along from issue to issue.
So Greener Pastures #9 is an old-fashioned Greener Pastures issue where it's a story that takes place in one issue. So I feel like I'm probably going to pencil, as an example, pencil from page 1 all the way through to the last page before going back and doing all the lettering, etc., etc.
Right.
But once I'm finished with the 1990s stories, and I'm starting to look at the 2020s stories, I'm going to go back to the whole thing of just doing a scene at a time. And when I've got enough pages to make an issue, I'm going to publish it.
Right.
So some issues might only be 16 or 18 pages, and some might be closer to 36, depending on how long that last scene is going to be. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a bespoke splash title page as well, which is kind of what I did for, and I don't think I've got both of them here, kind of what I did for Adventure Illustrated, right? So Adventure Illustrated #2 with the Greener Pastures cover.
That looks nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
And there's
Lovely artwork. That first story is great.
there's Gary's story in the front. So that was not on the original artwork for the Greener Pastures story.
Right.
In fact, I think I might have edited 2 pages together there to make that work,
Right.
to
Okay.
give it a title and a chapter
Yeah.
kind of heading. So that's not how it'll ever print again.
Yeah.
Um,
That's understandable, seeing as how it's in an anthology and
yeah,
nature of the beast there.
yeah. So
Hmm.
that's my intent going forward. And I actually do feel more comfortable doing a scene at a time rather
Yeah.
than
Yep. Yep.
the 20 pages or more at a time. But I'm going to try it with number 9 and see how I go. Because I also don't like the chopping and changing between like the gears or the vehicle of going from pencils to inks, like, every day doing a different thing. I think I'd rather kind of
Right. Okay.
get a bit
Yeah.
of a flow going.
Well, upon consideration, I think I do all of my story pacing or issue pacing in thumbnails. Once I'm
Mm,
happy with, I know that scene is going to be 6 pages, that scene is going to be 4, that scene is going to be
exactly.
5. Then I just start grabbing a scene and working on it in general order. But
Yeah.
if I'm really stuck on drawing something in particular, like a difficult, carnival scene or something that has a lot of detail, then I'll skip it and work on it in spare time to let it build up till it's finished and keep
Yeah,
on
that's
going
clever
with the
too.
next. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
I bash my head against the wall instead, and when there's something difficult, I just sit on it for ages and ages and ages. A page that some people have seen the original artwork of, but it hasn't been printed yet, is like the opposite number of that
yeah,
splash.
yeah.
So that's where Trevor works, and it's a shot from a low angle looking up at this tall building, and then the very next after the to be continued, which is at the bottom here. The next page is basically the opposite, where we're looking down from the top, looking at Trevor's apartment block where he lives,
That's a great
and
page.
that's an old brick building with lovely windows and
Yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. But again, it's in the pouring rain, so that actually took me days to draw. But yeah, I didn't build that up little by little.
yeah,
I
right.
sat there until it was flipping done. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, horses for courses, I suppose.
Yeah.
For trying to make decisions that create maximum flexibility for use.
Yeah. And then looking back again at the little bit we know of the work that Lauren is doing on Thalason, if I remembered it.
Yep, that's right.
Uh, I would say for her current life circumstances, working all the way through to a finished page is probably the best way to do it, and then move on to the next page. Because if you're trying to do that in between freelance jobs and in between caring for a toddler, et cetera, et cetera, because she's like a stay-at-home working stay-at-home mum now. Like it's like that's 2 jobs.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so. Yeah, to get that finished and say to yourself, wow, that one's done, fantastic, is probably a better mental mindset to
Yep.
be in, to build that brick wall of all of the artwork, is probably a better way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we had
Interesting.
guests on the show, we could get her on and ask her directly, but we don't. So
Yeah, maybe year 3.
maybe year 3. Yeah. Hey, I was thinking just then before we pressed record that maybe we could have a section of the show which is just called "Time for Tea and Toast," and we do something each week that is, I don't know what I would categorize, whether it's time for tea. What would you do? You could do something that's titled "Time for Tea and Toast," but it's an assessment of upcoming events, or it's something. But we've got to workshop it more. But
Okay. So your idea at this point is you want a segment called Time for Tea and Toast, but you've got no idea what segment could be anything. I don't care as long as it's called Time for Tea and Toast.
People who have died. Time for Tea and Toast. People who have died. Memorial section.
Yeah, fantastic. Great. Well, cheers.
Well,
Cheers.
we got to workshop that. Cheers.
Yeah.
Time for Tea and Toast. Maybe we're doing it right now.
I think the whole show could have been called Time for Tea and Toast.
That was this week's Time for Tea and Toast, brought to you by Club Domingo. That's Club Domingo.
Bum, 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 bum. Now, on to the next segment.
And
that'll work.
And that's how creativity works, folks.
Yeah. I tell you what, what's been really fun, I just reread the text chain yesterday. Your friend and mine, Gene Whitlock, um,
Yes.
who does Space Cat,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ex-work experience kid of mine.
that's right. Who lives in, is it
I
Singapore?
think it's Singapore. Yeah.
He's in Sydney at the moment, and we haven't been able to align our schedules to have a meal together. But he does a comic that's like this landscape strip sort of shape and format called Space Cat, which is really good fun. And he's pumping out, like he's already done 9, and I think he said he's got 2 or 3 more already kind of laid out and ready to
Yep.
start
Yep.
drawing. And we're going to do a crossover as well as part of Greener Pastures team up. And normally I like to just say, you're the guest star. You go and write something or at least conceive something, you know. But we've been batting ideas backwards and forwards between a little bit more of like an old fashioned crossover where it kind of starts in one person's comic and finishes in another person's comic.
Yep. Okay.
At least conceptually we'll be doing that. So I think we're going to do the Space Cat format for the first half and then the Greener Pastures format for the second or something like that. But just chucking the ideas backwards and forwards about who the characters are and what the circumstances are in the story and the way that it's worked, because I don't normally work like this. It's good fun. It's only because Gene knows how to do it, and now I'm along for the ride. So
Right.
I'm not the one who would normally be able to. I wouldn't be able to facilitate that as a working methodology.
Right.
Well, he's doing a really great job at it. So, and just saying, well, you know, I can't remember how it started, but just like a bit of a scenario, and then we're building on it more and more, and it means that the personalities of the characters are kind of playing off each other in better ways, and we're coming up with gags and building on gags. And there's no ego involved. Every time there's a gag, you know, the other person will have a different tagline to it, which might be even funnier or whatever. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He's just finishing up writing a couple of things, and then he said he's going to get back to it. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that maybe Gene will do most of the, like, now that we've got a good plot and a good plot structure, he might put something into something a bit more formal. And
His art
yeah,
is so fun as well. I love
it's
it.
great fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
And
hoping. I'm very
one of
much
the,
hoping that he will pencil the whole thing and then I'll ink the whole thing, because I think that'd be great fun
right. Yeah. Yeah.
for me to ink over his cartoony stuff.
And he's got all the energy to drag you both over the line as well. He's just a ever ready bunny, that guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, absolutely. No, very cool. So I'm excited about that too.
Yeah, and
Um,
one of these days I'd like to do a Space Cat Flash Domingo team up as well. That'd be fun.
Waiting to happen, isn't it?
Very obvious. Yeah,
I'll send him on once he's finished with this crossover.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Good on
Yeah.
you, Gene. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Hope he's having fun in Sydney and safe travels back home.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
So where does that put us? That put us on March 31st with nothing much really happened, but April 1st.
Is this the weekly?
No,
Are we going
I'm
through?
getting to April 1st, and then we're leaving it because it's April 2nd today and nothing's happened except me talking to you. But April 1st, yesterday, I woke up and I got sold a dummy by Peter Lane. Who
Oh,
did
you fell for it?
for about 5 minutes. I actually said to Belle, "Well, what do you know? Hold on a sec," because we both like, what date is it?
Once you start articulating it, you're actually listening to yourself and going, "What kind of an idiot are you, Chaloner?" Like you fell for
But
it.
he presented it so formally and so well that I got sold for a
So,
couple
so
of
tell the
minutes.
kiddies at home what was the gag?
Well, Peter Lane is the writer and IP owner, creator of Sky's Cavern Library, and he posted on Facebook that his IP that he actually offloaded and sold completely lock, stock, and barrel to Archie Comics, which probably would have been better if it was Antarctic Press because he already has a relationship with them, or
Yeah.
with
In my reading of it, my brain was skipping ahead and saying Antarctic Press, and then I got to Archie Comics instead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was an April Fool's joke. It's not the case, but he really he had me and a few other people fooled for at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because this kind of stuff happens. I mean,
Yeah.
plus
It's possible.
It's possible, yeah. And
Yeah.
I do like the fact that he finished the whole promo post of saying, and by the way, I've got a new character called blah, 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 who'll be launching soon, later in 2026. And it's
Yeah,
like he followed through with a backup
Yep.
plan of now that Sky's out of the way, I'm going to
Yeah.
start this guy.
Yeah. Had the whole thing.
Well played, Pete. Well played.
Yeah. I think that was my first, like you waking up to it. I think that was the first uh, April Fool's thing that I saw of the day, and it reminded me just to not even look
Yeah,
at social
yeah.
media for the rest of the 24 hours. In fact, more like almost 48 hours because there'll be the
Overseas.
American wave come through as well.
That's right. Yeah. And that was the penny dropped. And then I looked at Bella and said, fuck, I hate April Fools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so
On your page.
colour me the April Fool. Yeah.
Astounding.
Our friend Danny Best has had an operation and he's recovering at home. So, best wishes for his recovery as well.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yeah, so he won't be doing any lawn mowing or gardening anytime soon as his leg heals up from a leg operation.
Got a bionic leg now.
Bionic leg, he'll be able to hop in circles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
In slow motion.
What else have I got? I'll be able to. Josh Santo Spirito, I got his newsletter, and he has announced that Shaun Tan is coming down to Tasmania in late May. I'm going to read from Josh's newsletter. I hope he doesn't mind, but he's written all the details that it's needed. So Friday, May 29th, I'll be emceeing, which is Josh, not me, and presenting Comics Live at the first Island Writers and Readers Festival. I think it's actually Readers and Writers Festival, but anyway, the Island Magazine Writers and Readers Festival. Wildly, it'll be starring Shaun Tan. Crazy. This guy won an Academy Award for his short animation, The Lost Thing, and sold a bajillion copies of his extraordinary book, The Arrival, somehow tricking the world into reading comics by not telling them that they were reading a comic. He's basically a national suburban treasure. It'll be a fun, boozy night of live comic readings with a microphone and a projector at Bev's in Nipaluna, Hobart, which will also star Alyssa Bermudez, whose new Yar graphic novel I recently helped launch in Tassie. That's Josh, not me. It'll also feature Tony Thorne and Pete Hay, Lucy Adelaide, myself, and a very special performance by Kay Kudelka, who will be doing a live reading out of an unfinished work by their late dad, John Kudelka. Wow. I'm sure that this will be a beautiful way to honour the incredible legacy of visual literature that John leaves behind here in Tasmania.
Incredible.
So it's going to be rambunctious fun, and there'll be tears and beers. So get in early because it's a ticketed event. So, but yeah, big news about Shaun Tan coming down to Tassie.
Yeah, that's amazing. What an incredible headliner in Shaun Tan, but that's a great kicker at the end as well to be reading some of Kudelka's stuff as well.
Yeah. So,
wow. Yeah.
It'll be a highly charged evening, I think, or whenever it is. Is it across the day? But anyway, it's a ticketed event, as I said. So if you're really interested and you're in Tassie or coming down from Victoria or anywhere, get online and get those tickets fast because they'll be going fast.
That's May 29.
May 29, yeah. And Josh always does a good job of emceeing as well. So, go see Josh doing his thing as well.
Absolutely. So the Island Writers and Readers Festival, is that the only Writers Festival that you have in Tasmania, or is there a Hobart or Tasmanian Writers Festival?
I can't speak to that. Josh would be the one to be across all of that. That's his stomping ground. But if I was to say anything, it could very well be a whole pile of bullshit.
Yeah. As opposed to the last half an hour.
Hey, it's time for tea and toast. What do we do now?
So yeah, fantastic. Get along to that. That's absolutely worth getting to.
An interesting paragraph that I didn't read out, which is interesting that Josh writes in his newsletter. This is Josh. I'm still continuing to be the graphic narratives editor for Island Magazine, which is the best job, really. David Blumenstein has made a banger of a piece for the current issue about his observations about growing up around Zionism. So that Island Magazine is out now, and Josh has facilitated some space in each magazine for comics to be in there, and
fantastic.
He curates that. So Island Magazine is an arts magazine here in Tassie, and I'm sure you can be able to order copies online if you want to track down or get a subscription or something like that. So Island Magazine is always well worth picking up.
Yeah, and you don't have to, obviously, because David Blumenstein's got a piece in there, you don't have to live in Tasmania to be submitting for the graphic narrative aspects of the
That's right.
Of the magazine. Yeah, cool.
So yeah, Josh has opened that door a crack, and he's making it go wider and wider and wider with getting
Fantastic.
spaces
Yeah.
for comics in literary publications.
So what's the venue for the Comics Live event?
Oh bloody hell!
Is it like do you know the venue when you read it? Did you recognize it?
I had it up a little while ago. I have to go. Start
Just
tap.
wondering how big a venue it is. Are they going to be selling tickets to 50 people or 500 people?
Why did I think that 100 was a number that was mentioned?
Because you're full of it?
Yeah, I think there was 100 tickets available.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
I don't know. Island
Okay.
Readers and Writers Festival. Everyone should do their own bloody homework. The Island Readers and Writers Festival goes from the 28th of May to the 1st of June.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Cool.
all I got to say about that. I think it's time for Team Toast now.
Cheers. Cheers. You asked me if I had anything in my list to chat about, and that was really the only thing was that Shaun Tan reading event. Um,
And doesn't he have an animated show that's just gone on streaming
yeah.
service somewhere, The Tales from Outer Suburbia?
Yeah, that's on ABC iView, and if you haven't watched it, you absolutely should watch it. It's
Yeah.
incredible,
There's
amazing Australian-made animation.
some character breakdowns and designs by Thomas Campy as well.
Yep, yeah, yep.
Another,
Thomas, who lives here in Sydney,
yeah.
he's a graphic novelist as well. He had something released not that long ago, actually, like a month or so ago.
That's
His
right.
latest album.
Yeah.
I know
In
the
the
name.
great watercoloring Euro tradition, his art
Yeah,
style is
exactly.
absolutely stunning. Yeah, but he's based here in Australia, so
Yeah,
Thomas Campy is another one that you should do some research on and read some of his stuff because it's beautiful.
yeah, absolutely. So I went, if you want to talk about Tales from Outer Suburbia for a minute, again, watch it on iView. It's all there ready. It's based on Shaun Tan's book of the same name. Uh, and the art direction for the show is that it's 3D computer animated, right?
Yep.
But the art direction is to make it look like it's stop motion puppets.
Right.
Um, and that's not as easy as it may sound. There are aspects about shooting stop motion that makes it look like stop motion, and to try to emulate that in 3D, where you're actually just using splines and in betweening and particle effects, etc., to try to make that look like it's stop motion were huge challenges. Plus, on top of that, you have to think about lens choice and depth of field and all of the all of the environments. The design of the environments was made to look as if they were really only that big rather than the
Yeah.
life
Right.
size that they would be. So I
Yeah.
went to a talk about it at Flying Bark in Alexandria, who shot it, and it was or who made it, and it was really interesting the kind of stuff that they did, including, which is a common trick. There's 24 frames per second when you're shooting live action, and most stop motion is on 12 frames a second because otherwise it'll take twice as long to make. Um, so they were shooting it at 12 frames a second, or rendering it rather, and making sure it looked okay to be rendered at 12 frames. And then there were some aspects when someone was running or doing something fast, it just didn't work. And so they were mixing 12 and 24 frame per second, which is hard to do. And so yeah, they should all be really proud of it. It looks incredible. So
Right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
And in my research to try to find uh, a way to make the Greener Pastures short film turn into something bigger, a television show, film, or even a cartoon show. One name that came up a couple of times was Sophie Byrne, who is the producer, is one of the, probably more like an executive producer, I can't remember exactly, on Tales Out of Suburbia, as well as Shaun Tan's other animated forays, as well as Nathan Juravicius's Scary Girl IP, animated and gaming stuff. So like a little common thing that I'm going, Sophie knows what she's doing. She's really picking,
Yeah.
like two really nice pieces of work
Yeah.
to then see what else, how else we can make that IP get out there into the public. So
Yeah. Right.
it's interesting, those kind of crossovers where they happen.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes. Hmm. It's all above my pay grade, I think.
So yeah, that was really the only thing on my list was to talk about Shaun.
Are you across the Brett Bean Dork comic from Image?
I know it. I know what it looks like, and that it's doing extremely well. But I don't. Have you
Yeah,
got more?
and hanging on, just having a text conversation with Lee Chalker over the last couple of days. He pointed me towards Matt Triple T's YouTube station or channel that was talking about the success of Dork and
Right.
how speculators have got involved now as well, where they're up to about issue 3 or 4, I think, of the regular series, but the first issue is being reprinted like heaps of times, and now it's being slabbed and it's being on sale over $500 an issue US for the first
Wow.
issue. So the speculators have really jumped in and
Wow.
muddied the waters of interest for that, and
Yeah.
boosted it through the roof.
Sure.
Because apparently it is a very good comic,
Yeah.
beautifully illustrated and written and the whole thing.
So that's Dork. It's spelled D apostrophe O R.
That's
So it's
right.
like an
Yeah.
orc with a D in the front. So Dork.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's a
it, it,
comedy fantasy strip from what I can gather. And Brett
yeah.
Bean has done previous stuff like I Hate Fairyland
Yeah.
and a few other things of his own. So
Yeah.
he's
It,
it's not exactly a newcomer, but this thing has really hit the road running and it's selling really well for Image.
it's really interesting. You're saying the speculators have like hopped on board, and this is creating uh, like we're not seeing the reality of what the sales would otherwise be like, etc. And yet, I do look at a couple of other shows on YouTube that are much more about the industry of comics, and they can't pronounce dork. They don't know how to pronounce the D apostrophe orc.
The
It's,
orc.
it's obviously supposed to be dork,
Yeah.
right? That's the
Yeah.
play on words, and they I think they're even mispronouncing the word orc, and it's like orc or something like that. And I'm going, don't you
No,
know?
it's just dork.
I
It's just
know.
dork.
So they're buying all of these comics and spending hundreds of dollars on it, and don't even like they don't they I guess they're not actually seeing beyond the fact that it's a collectible thing. Um, so that's actually I'm looking across to my list on my computer here. Something that I've had on my list for maybe 4 weeks is a discussion about this kind of thing. So it's kind of prescient that you brought it up. So tell me again, who's publishing it? It's going via Image?
Yeah, Image Comics. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not quite self-publishing. It's a shame. I would have really been interested in following what was happening with it if it
Yeah.
was like a
Yeah.
proper.
And now I don't even know anymore what the process is of getting published by Image. Whether the last thing that I heard was, I'm even speaking out of school there. I don't know what the process is of pitching
Yeah.
to Image and what Image brings to the project as opposed to self-publishing, financially, as far as,
Yeah.
if you've got an idea, you have to guarantee a certain amount of pages each month, like a regular monthly thing. Will supply marketing and distribution, and
Yeah. Because
beyond that,
I don't think they pay for it. I don't think Image pays for it. I think you're still paying for your own print bill. You're still taking the financial risks upon yourself, which is not a bad, I think, business model for both concerned. It means that Image can take risks and put their branding on things that will almost certainly help in the marketing of something. Dork might not have quite gotten as far as it did if it wasn't under an Image banner.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I totally. It's not like if I say that you have to pay your own finances, you have to pay the print bill. I'm not saying that as a negative. Just making sure that you don't think if you're accepted by Image, it's all sugar and cream or whatever,
right.
strawberries and cream forever.
And what one would imagine that there's some editorial control as well, so they don't publish stuff they don't
Oh,
want to publish.
totally. No,
So
totally. Yeah, they're only going to accept
they'll
what
be
they want.
assigned an editor, and while they green light a project, there would be a certain amount of image overlords making sure that it is still going to be representative of their brand.
Yeah. And I know this is going back a decade or two, but there was that whole thing where Bone, as a self-published comic, came up against industry changes that were quite detrimental, and everybody was feeling the pinch. And he used Image Comics as a safety net,
Yeah,
went and published via Image Comics for 20 issues or something like that. And then when everything was back on an even keel, it came back out again and started self-publishing from the next issue on as well. So steady numbering throughout. So there must be some strength in that. It's almost a cooperative kind of attitude, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
And while they're still running a business, I think there is a semi-casual open door policy where you can walk anytime you want.
Yeah. Which is, I think, is the way it should be for publishers. If you're not giving me value by putting your logo on my cover, then I should be allowed to walk if I don't feel like there's value there. But that whole idea of collectability and variant covers, etc., is definitely like it made a resurgence, right?
It has, yeah.
So the show I'm talking about that talks about, or one of the shows I watched that talks about the industry is called Beyond Wednesdays. I think that might be the umbrella, and then they have a bunch of different shows. And I just watched the industry chat show only when it looks like it's got something that's relevant to me, because a lot of it is not relevant to me. But they made really strong friends with a certain creator who was doing like this enormous blind bag self-publishing thing, right? But was making hundreds of thousands of dollars out of it and making really good, interesting work. But they were basically treating entire floppy comic books inside a blind bag like trading cards.
Yeah, right.
Like they were absolutely like, some people would read it, or they might buy one copy to read, but in general, the concept was
lucky dip.
Yeah, and that you would buy 20 of them so that you would try to get the chase cover. I don't know if that's the term that they were using. And again, there are people, in Australia who know better how all of this stuff works. Like the Grail hunters on Facebook know all about blind bags and shit. But it was really interesting that it's just, instead of a trading card, it's a whole comic book, but it was the exact same mentality.
Yeah,
and again, I'm not putting it down. It's like whatever people want.
Yeah. I can see how it overlays the whole concept of a trading card. Let's apply that to comics. I can see the logic behind it. I don't like the idea, but I can see the logic behind it.
Yeah. And there was, I mean, there's all this discussion about, you would open your blind bag and the corners would be dented. And it's like outrage because it's not in super mint condition, and it could be worth a lot of money if not. And what are you going to do about it? Send me a reprint, and like it's all of this stuff. But also like there might be like as many as 50 different covers for the one comic. Obviously you're just buying covers. You're not buying a comic, because otherwise you could be doing 12 comics a year, but we don't have time because we're doing 50 covers for each comic. So you're obviously buying covers, and again, that's fine. It's a enjoyable collectible hobby, right? That this is how it works. But out of that 50, like maybe 40 of them were very common, and 5 of them there was only 100 of them printed, and blah blah blah. And then there's like one cover, one design where there's only 2, and people are tracking, where are the 2? And because they're in blind bags and only one of them is surfaced, people are going, so somebody's got it and is not opening their blind bag to know that they've got the one that's actually worth, if you wanted to sell it, possibly thousands of dollars.
But if you open the blind bag, the value goes down.
The day after you buy it, it could be worth thousands of dollars. So it's almost like a lottery, right? Where everybody buys, a $2 ticket in the hopes of winning a house. And it's the same thing. You're buying a $5 or a $10 comic in the hopes of opening it up and finding $1,000 worth of comics in there.
And you just keep on getting cover J all the time. Oh, damn, this is the 15th copy of cover J I've got.
Yeah. And I could be getting some of the details wrong, but that's like the general kind of.
That's the theory. Yeah.
So there's that, and that's a very specific thing. But I've taken a bit of a pause because it was I've been doing it for too long. But I've been reading Tinian's what's his first name? Tinian, that writer. He writes
Tinian the Fourth, Tinian the Third.
Yeah, is it
James Tinian?
James? Yeah, it is James. James Tinian.
McGillicuddy Tinian.
That's right. Yeah. James Tinian the Fourth, who is probably most well known for Something's Killing the Children. and reading his blog, and so this is still a couple of years old. I've been trying to catch up through his entire adventure being a self-publisher or an indie publisher. And what he just did in the last few conventions is enormous. Like it's like his Image Comics, except it's just his range of 5 or 6 IPs. Really incredible. Like it's amazing. I can see how, especially being a writer with a lot of energy, you could have 6 plates in the air at any one time and
But he's
really build
American,
up.
isn't he?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and build up this IP, this set of IPs, and therefore building up quite the brand
Mm.
in yourself.
Mm.
So it's really great, interesting reading. But yeah, he at one point a couple of years ago he was saying, so the bottom is falling out of the variant covers market as far as I'm concerned. So he would be doing 5 or 6 covers for almost every issue, even not just a launch issue or a number 10, an anniversary issue. Like almost every issue would have more than one cover. Uh, and he said we are. I think I wrote down close to a quote. Where is it? Where oh, I can't find it now. I had it just here a minute ago. But he said something along the lines of, "We're not just in the comics business. We're in the collectibles business." And you have to get a handle on that. If you are not making material that collectors will flock to as well as readers, then you're definitely cutting off a whole stream of income. So when I hear that last bit where it talks about stream of income, this is an income stream. One of your streams of income is writing the 6 books. One of your streams is doing signings at conventions. One of your streams is making merch because he's got quite a bit of merch. And one of your streams is making collectible versions of the comics. And I go, if you put it in that merch category mentally instead of in the comic category, it starts to sit better with me. I don't want to be that person who's just doing one comic and 50 covers and printing 10,000 of them or whatever. But the idea, because I don't like the idea of variant covers. I'm not someone in my Kickstarters who is going to be doing a heap of variant covers. But that as a little kind of nudge and a wake up, uh, thinking,
Different hats.
yeah, if you think of it as merch instead of a comic, it's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. But then I think, how do you, as a creator, want to be perceived? Do you want to be perceived as a merchandise flogger, or do you want to be on the rack next to someone who writes a novel, for example?
yeah, exactly.
And it's just what you want out of it. You can go all out one way or the other, all in, as they say.
Mm.
But yeah, merchandising. As Mr. Liefeld, he'll jump on any trend that's going at the moment, and he'll defend it, saying, "Hey, that's the business. That's the business today. I'm just taking advantage of trends as they happen, and taking the best advantage I can out of it." But then it all comes back to, is the story any good? Is the comic any good? And that sort of brings you back to Dork as well.
That's right.
From the reviews that I've heard about it, that beyond all the speculating and all the slabbing and all of the on-selling of different covers and different editions, that it's still a bloody good read. The first issue is very good. The second one is probably just as good as the first one, from what I haven't read it myself. But if you're into Bone and that kind of comedy fantasy kind of thing, that'll be your jag. You'll be able to read that and quite enjoy it.
So that's been what I'm hearing about it as well. It's actually quite a good comic.
Because there's one thing to be all style and no substance and be a merchandising machine. Like, you could argue that Liefeld is a bit like that, or you could be more like Dork, where it's based in quality first, and that quality attracts attention, and that attention attracts the speculators, and there you get your the extras going from there.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned with Dork, more power to him. Like, rake in those dollars while the collectors or the people who want the variant covers or whatever are happy to do that for you, but put it all in the bank, because once that all subsides, you get a more realistic feeling for your sales. Hopefully there's enough there to keep you going without having to do any other work, but maybe that's not going to be the case. So, bank all of that amazing speculator cash now, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So to carry on a little bit more from a personal point of view, I don't think I've talked about this on the show before, but I don't really want to buy into that whole mentality, right? I'm trying to be a little bit more purist in it, in that I want the comic to be the thing that makes the money that will enable the comic to keep going. So, for example, in our first Kickstarter, the Kickstarter for number 8, which Darren Close helped me with. So Darren's done quite a few Kickstarters, and he knows, how to add in extra tiers that will bring in good money. And one of them was one of the ones that Darren suggested, which I said no to, was you have a tier where you do a Zoom call with somebody for an hour a week for 4 weeks to help them with what they're doing, right? And that's a high cost tier. It's not cheap. And I think it's a good tier. I think I see other people doing it. I think it's a great thing to do. And if it was within my price range to buy it, and somebody I wanted to talk to was doing one, I possibly would buy one, right? So I totally get it. But it was at that point that I had the discussion with Darren over Messenger, where I'm saying I want the comics to support the comics.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I'm going to spend an hour a week with somebody for 4 weeks, I might as well do some freelance work, or I might as well get another unit's worth of teaching at JMC. Or can you, so in my mind, I'm going, I'm just doing work. I'm doing other work. I'm not doing the comics work, and I want the comics to support the comics. And if I need to get other work, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, anything that detracts from the actual core business, which is getting that issue finished, an extra variant, a T-shirt, a badge, and a Kickstarter level that you have to do a sketch cover or something like that. They're all starting to pile up on moving you away from doing what you got to do.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's okay if someone else takes it off your hands, but that's unusual to have editors and office workers that will coordinate a campaign of 10 variant covers, or slabbing and selling and all that kind of stuff. I know the Cynation guys who do God Amongst Men. They have got a lot of variant editions. And I don't know how it seems to be going well for them, but that's just not my method of. I want the concentration to be left on the contents of the comic, and for it to stand on its own 2 feet without any, shall we say, gimmicks? I don't know. Are they gimmicks to?
Yeah, again, to try to not use a derogatory term, you just say without other merch or other.
Yeah. So more power to them, but it's not something I would do, because I see what they're doing, all their multiple editions. All I see is that, and they're more than one person doing it. They got like a small team around them that's helping to do all this stuff. But all I see is a lot of time for me to invest into doing that, which is a distraction from doing what I should be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So I probably won't even be doing much in the way of blank covers either for sketching on, because I've got a heap of number 8s still. So until they run out, But I guess that's a bit of a I don't know that there's a hard and fast line. I think there's a bit of a grey area. I know that you. Well, I know that I really enjoy doing sketch covers. So if somebody buys a sketch cover, I'm really excited to draw it. And if anybody buys a commission, I'm going to go ahead with that. I think that is not so far outside of making the comic that it feels like I'm doing other work to support the comic. Definitely a commission is not the comic. I get it, but I think that's part of the core job of a comic book creator, is to do commissions every so often. I suppose it's not really, is it? The core, like Jack Kirby wasn't doing commissions, was he? If he had more time, he'd draw more pages.
We can vacillate backwards and forwards about that. Like, I know that Bo Jardine, with his Nightside comic, he was quite happy to do A5 head sketches ahead of time, just in his spare time, yeah, they can be giveaways for the campaign, and they're all pre-done. So it's not a commission; it's just they get a sketch, and it's in an A5 postcard format or A4 or whatever size he did them at. But they're all pre-done, so there's no angst or woe about, oh, the campaign's finished, now I've got to do 150 postcards or whatever. So your mileage may vary on different things,
But trying to track down somebody to do a variant cover and making sure that they get remunerated properly, like that's outside of the time I want to spend. Absolutely outside of. But yeah, it's funny, you're saying T-shirts and badges. Oh man, and like just yesterday, I was thinking, now those pins that we were going to do for Club Domingo, and I should do some for Greener Pastures. Like let's get that happening. So
I suppose
the thing is, I'm a collector myself.
Yeah,
at that level,
that's pressing your buttons.
Yeah, that's right. I guess that's the way that each creator should kind of look at it, right? Is what is it that excites you? Like T-shirts, like I would love personally to wear my own Greener Pastures T-shirts. That's the reason why I'll probably make some and then make them available to buy.
I'm the same way. Yep.
The same with pins. Like, I think I'd like to get a Greener Pastures pin. So I've got to talk to my friend to really see how that will work in real life and just get it happening. It's crazy that I get kind of a bit scared of crossing that line. Like, just do a design, get them made. Don't overcommit financially, and see how we sell.
And these decisions to merchandise or not to merchandise, it's just a comfort level. Is it something that seems like fun? You execute it. If it goes off the rails, you're never going to do it again. If it's quite a popular kind of thing and you had fun doing it and you got yourself a neat little badge, great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when the machine of making this merchandise takes over so much and takes away from the core product. Because, fans of the Jackaroo and fans of Greener Pastures, of course, they want to support it with, a sticker or a trading card or a T-shirt even. But don't go over the top. Or you start to change your core business, which is getting a comic out.
Yeah. And I feel like being somebody who mostly sells comics at conventions, because I don't have any distribution yet. So it'll be Kickstarters and conventions. But at the convention, like I honestly feel like if you go to enough conventions in the one location, and people come back to see what else you've got, and you go, well, this is a new issue. Have you got that one yet or not? But also at the moment, I've got some badges that I'm pretty sure people go, oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I'll buy a badge. They look really cool. So sell a comic for $10 and a badge for, I don't know how much the badges cost now, $10 as well. I don't know. And it's like, well, that'd be cool. Like let's
$10 for a badge.
I don't know.
Yeah. Neither do I.
I'll have to do some homework.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's sort of like if you were at a con and you had a customer that was buying, and you had 10 issues and they were buying one, beyond getting the discount rate for buying 10, you'd throw in a badge.
No way.
Use your discretion.
Shit.
That's the level that I see merchandise. It's all a reward for being a good customer.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Yeah. I don't know what the unit cost is of a badge, whether or not you can actually just throw them in for free or not. So I'll have to look into that.
Anyway, I don't know. So alien to me.
Yeah.
They're just like all the trading cards that I've had done over the recent Adventure Illustrated campaigns. They're all just giveaways. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah. And you're happy with that, right? You're happy with
Yeah. If anyone orders through Own an Indie and Adventure Illustrated now, I just look around what I've got. I've got some postcards. I've got some trading cards. Just throw a stack of stuff in and get it gone. It's reduces the pile in my storage room.
Yeah, reduces your piles. That's
the you get to my age, and that's very appealing.
Fantastic.
Yep, that's right. Sitting fine. Huh?
So there you go.
Okay. So what else have I got here? I don't think. I was going to talk to you about developing, which we're talking about now with the badges and stuff, but a Club Domingo club.
What's the Club Domingo club?
I don't know. It's like time for tea and toast. I'm just putting it out there. What would be good to put underneath the title Club Domingo Club? And then it'd be a badge for a start. I'm a member of the Club Domingo Club.
Right.
That's as far as I've got.
This whole thing about being an ideas man, I don't know that you're so good at it. There's actually usually just a little bit more to it
No. I come up with the ideas. You're supposed to come
picture
up.
it. I can picture the sign.
Picture it now.
What's under the sign?
Smoking a cigar. I can see it now. Hang up in lights. The Club Domingo Club. Yeah, see? Yeah. And you got strippers dressed like a platypus. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You
Well,
don't
there
need
you
an
go.
alcohol license. We just sell jugs of lemonade, homemade lemonade.
So, like, can you imagine today with what we've done today, turning up with almost nothing to talk about and still being here like an hour later,
Have we been?
trying to figure out how to create like a segment, like a real show? That's not going to happen. Like,
Time for tea and roast, where we roast Australian comics.
oh yeah, let's do that. Let's see how many people have got a sense of humor.
Yeah, indeed. And we can start up a set of awards that are like the Razzies called the Sledges.
The sledges. Oh my God, how has nobody ever thought of that? You probably thought of that year one.
Yeah, I did. I thought as soon as we announce the Ledges, there's going to be a counter awards, which is the Sledges.
Oh, you've let that. I would like you. I know you don't usually edit much out of this, but I would edit that bit out. Like, like now you've let that
No, that's
idea
copyright
out of the
TM,
bag.
Gary Chaloner, Sledger Awards. Copyright and TM. I claim my ownership now.
I liked it better way back when people were calling the Ledger Awards Australian Comics Prom. That was cute. Let's all go to Comics Prom. It was cool.
Get dressed up, put your best T-shirt on.
That's right.
Put on your best merch and go to the awards.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
So anyway, if anyone's got any good ideas,
what that would be like I know that you're trying to play on the fact that it's a clumsy. I hope that you're trying to make it as clumsy as it is. Club Domingo Club.
that's a play on words. Yes,
but it would be the Club Domingo VIP area. That's like you've got the club and then you have the VIP area in the club, and that's
Club
like
Domingo Club is the club within the club.
sounds like you're trying to make like a Patreon, but without having to go onto the Patreon. Like
I don't know what I'm trying to do. Keep it simple, stupid.
Well, I think you're varying. Like you're kind of moving away from keeping it simple.
Yes.
So
Anyway,
what you do is right. You, Mr. Editor, now like when you're editing this show. Not that there's any editing that you do besides putting a bumper on the front and the back, which is like I think that's all you should do. But when it comes to the point where you think that this sounds like it's probably the segment that should be time for tea and toast, put a little bumper on there, right?
yeah.
Little super. I don't know.
Yes. Scratching of the chin. Don't worry. Yeah. I've got to get this edited today and made live for tonight. So I'm going to keep it stupid simple.
Now, I honestly think every so often we should have a call-in show, which means probably not doing it at 11 a.m. on a Thursday afternoon or whatever, or Thursday morning.
A call-in show might be fun. Yeah.
I reckon that'd be great fun.
Time for tea and boast, where you can promote your comic.
I think you just call in and have a chat. It's almost like an interview, but it's more like talkback radio.
No heavy breathing.
It'd be like talkback radio.
that was Danny Best.
You're more than likely. But yeah, it's like a talkback show.
Oh yeah, we could try that. Yeah. Yes. You and your creative ideas.
We need like a 1-800 number so we get some money out of it though.
Oh yeah, and I can do the voice for it. For the message machine.
Oh, 1-800 CLUBDAM
INGO. Anyway, all great ideas, all fantastic ideas. I think we're going to follow through in a big way for next week.
Absolutely. But next week. Hey, you know what? The kiddies at home should write in and tell us what they think. Otherwise,
how can they write in? How can they possibly write in and contact us?
Via they put a stamped self-addressed envelope and posted to
hey it's Saturday.
That's right. Cartoon Connection. What is it? Club Domingo at cyclonecomics.com.au.
Wow.
Club Domingo at cyclonecomics.com.au.
That's it. Are we done for the week?
Oh man,
we are roasted. We're cooked, man. As the kiddies say, we're cooked.
And that's it for me for today. I'm going back to bed.
What is going on with this tea? I need some toast. Anyway,
I actually
okay.
had two doses of toast before I came on. Needed some extra. Yeah, I think that'll do us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I'm going to
a
press unrecord.
couple of blokes had nothing to talk about. We'll see you next week, kiddies.
See you
More comics
later.
more often.
Happy
More comics
birthday.
more often.